It's been a favourite of the people. A lot of children will enjoy this one. I'm Hannah and I'm the founder and creator of Minnie and Mama Books. I've created Islamic books for toddlers and young children under the age of 5, just to introduce Islam to them in a very positive and loving way. I'm a single mum and I homeschool my daughter. I'm from Manchester and the surrounding areas. I was previously an audiologist, but that's what I trained in, did my degree in and started working in. But then when I became a single mum, obviously it's quite a sudden and unexpected thing. You don't expect life to take you in that direction. Going out and doing a 9-5 was no longer something that was possible. So it was kind of, I never intended to start a business or kind of go into this entire world really, but I guess life has kind of put me into that because I kind of had to become work flexible. I had to start working from home so that I could take care of my daughter as well. So I'm a mum myself. My daughter is now 6 years old, but when she was 2 or 3 years old, I tried to find Islamic books that were very simple and very easy for her to understand, and I really, really struggled to find anything. She loved Each Peach Pear Plum, and she loved a lot of the non-Islamic books, but I couldn't find anything in the Islamic market that was similar. So in the beginning, it just started with, let me try this, just for absolutely no intention of making it into an actual book. And it's just been kind of like a domino effect from there. So I think it did kind of start where I did just do the writing. So I started off just writing the story. And it was just because in my head, I kind of wanted the stories to be written in a certain way where I couldn't find it. So I did the story, and then for a long time I was looking for an illustrator, and I was thinking, okay, there's no way I can do this myself. I have no idea what I'm doing. But when you realise the costs and things like that behind trying to find an illustrator and the struggle of finding it, I just thought, do you know what? Let me just try and learn myself. I had some experience using digital art software because I'd previously started trying to create wall prints and things like that. So I had a bit of background in digital art, which I just learnt myself with an iPad at home. And from there, I just thought, you know what, let me just give it a try. And my early illustrations were not the best, but it was a starting point, and I think I've always had an eye for design and creativity. So even though I didn't really know how to get there, I know how I want it to look at the end. So I've just continuously, I've worked from morning till night some days, just trying to get it exactly how I want it. And again, when you mentioned the font, people would say, oh, this is the standard font to use for a book. But I'm like, okay, but I don't like it. I don't like that font. I have a vision of how I want it to look. I think it was, some people would say, oh,
you're wrong.
Yeah,
this is the right
100%. I heard that many times, this is not, even I've created the books and I've put them into a gift box. People would say, it's normally people use the sleeve, the book sleeve, when they create book sets and things. And I have a vision, I want to do things my own way. I want it to be until it looks the way I want it to look like it. My vision is to create an entire Islamic range where it makes Islam very accessible for children under the age of 5. I think children under the age of 5 are very intelligent. They can take in a lot of information, but it just has to be taught in the right way. So I think a young child can understand the concept of that there is, Allah, the prophets, the Quran. A lot of it they can understand if it's taught in the right way, in a way that, is simple and easy for them. The way that I've got around doing the illustrations, because obviously we didn't want to portray any of the prophets or anything like that. So it's a mum telling her children the stories of the prophets as they go on about everyday life. So in this story in particular, they're on a safari, A little bit of imagination comes into play, the children's imagination, but it's set in modern time. So it's not got anything about the prophets or anything like that, because it's difficult to portray and then you don't want to put any pictures in. This is like my own font, this is my own handwriting. The story of Prophet Noah alayhi salam is one that you will love. It includes the largest animals and the smallest bugs. Prophet Noah alayhi salam was told by Allah to build a huge boat, but some people laughed at him because there was nowhere for it to float. But he trusted in Allah and he did what he was asked. He knew that Allah would have a reason for this task. Prophet Noah alayhi salam and his friends boarded the boat with lots of animals too. 2 elephants, 2 camels and 2 cows saying moo. 2 sheep, 2 giraffes, 2 goats and 2 bears. Every animal you can think of, all of them in pairs. And then the boat was needed, like Allah said it would. It rained and rained and rained until there was a flood. Then the boat lifted up off the ground and travelled away and sailed away safely to a new land. Prophet Noah was safe because he trusted in Allah. When we do what Allah asks of us, we are sure to go far. We tried to make it very relatable, very engaging for children, which was one of the reasons we set it in modern time. But also there's lots of, this is what, I'll give my dad credit for this, he liked to hide little animals and little things on each page because kids love doing Where's Wally kind of concept. So we've tried to keep running characters, and if you do look at this story in particular, the chickens have their own little story going throughout where they're doing silly things. Yeah, they got a subplot, definitely. Yeah, so there's lots of things that I have. We could start with negative feedback. I have had, people say that maybe add alayhi salam. I initially didn't add after the Prophet's name, put alayhi salam. I just thought maybe parents will say it themselves and things like that. But that's something where when we do the reprint, I'm going to add on. So I'm happy to take on board, people's opinions. If there's things that I can improve on, then 100% I will do that. But alhamdulillah, the overwhelming response has been very, very positive from both parents and children and teachers. A lot of parents have actually, I've had parents that have been quite almost emotional when they've seen it. They're like, I've been looking for something like this for so long. I'm so glad you've finally done it, or someone's finally done it. A lot of people have kind of flicked through and been like, yes, this is, exactly what we've needed. So the feedback's been alhamdulillah.
What have the children said?
Children love it. So they always pick them up at the stall and they start, reading through them. They love finding a character that looks like them. So I've actually had quite a lot of feedback about how the character is very diverse. So that children can find someone who, they feel like they can relate to. And I've had, parents tell me that their 1-year-old every day comes downstairs and the first thing they do is get one of the Prophet books off the shelf and they want to read it. And for me, that's the best feedback, because parents can just say things. You don't know if they're 100% just trying to be nice, but a 1-year-old's not going to lie to you. So I have 4 books that come in a gift set. You can buy them individually, but they are £9.99 individually. As a gift set, it's £35, they retail at. So I basically run everything, and my dad helps with illustrations, or does a significant portion of the illustrations. In terms of when I go to events and stuff, I need a second person. I choose a different family member each time and I drag them along, and then I'm inshallah going to go around everyone and then come back round so that they don't hate me for it. So I really want to grow it as a global brand. I think these books, I have had interest from France and somewhere they want me to translate them into the other languages as well, because they said there's a big demand. So I think it's not just an English-speaking problem. I think worldwide, there's a shortage of books for the younger children. So I do want, to get the books out, and I also want to create a real, inshallah in the future, other products as well. Yeah, I had absolutely no background. So Google has been my best friend. For everything, we've kind of taken it one step at a time. So when I first started the books, I did it on a print-on-demand service. It was actually via Amazon. This was a few years ago. And that's where we kind of started from. So it was print-on-demand. There was no upfront costs. We must have redrafted the books close to 20 times. And this is, when I say redraft, I mean from when it actually went to print. We just kept changing it because we kept seeing things we didn't like. So the original version of a few of these books has changed from the original version. So it's been quite like a gradual process where we're like, okay, that's not working anymore. Let's change to this. So initially it was print on demand. When we got really good feedback, because that was a good starting point, it tested the market. We thought, okay, I want to get the quality better. The quality wasn't good on the print on demand service. So that's when I got them printed as paperbacks because the cost was a lot cheaper. My dream was always to make them a board book, but that wasn't something I could do straight away. So each step I just had to research, literally Google, YouTube videos, how do people do this, how do people create a book, how do you use KDP, how do you print, how do you do alignments. We made many mistakes along the way, many mistakes, like even something as simple as the format that you save a book in, like the certain settings that you had to tick, like so many times we'd done the wrong one, the colour had come out wrong, and it's just, I think trial and error has definitely been like a huge part of it. First one would be go easy on yourself. As you know, any woman, responsibilities are far and long, and especially if you're a mum, your children do come first. Like, I think work around what you are able to do. Do not like put such a burden on yourself where you feel like you have to do this and you have to do that. Especially if it's your own business, you can go at your own pace. And I think that is important. Don't feel pressure to go faster than you are able to. And do not give up, because honestly, I've had days where it's been absolutely terrible, like, you know, financially or other things, you're struggling and you just think, is there any point in carrying on? But I think just don't give up. Even on bad days, carry on, keep giving sadaqah. I think that's the biggest like trick in business. And yeah, you can do it basically. If I can do it, anyone can do it. I'd say it's the typical answer, but also it's very true. It's Khadija radiallahu anha. Obviously, she was a businesswoman and she was at the top of her game. And I think sometimes Islamically people see a woman in business as a bit like intimidating or like that's a bit out there kind of thing. But at the end of the day, she's our greatest role model. And if she was like encouraged and it was praised that she did that, then of course like women should be also feel the same in this day and age. Humans will always have the upper hand. I think you're always going to understand children better. Like as a mother myself, a robot can't have the knowledge that I have as a mother. And at the end of the day, like things are, with any business, success is with Allah. Like we have to not rely so much on trying to compete or trying to like, okay, they've done this better, or how do I compete with this? At the end of the day, like have good intention, try your best, do what you can. Use the AI to like in your favor, like ChatGPT, okay, it can be a friend sometimes. Writing a book, especially when it's an Islamic one, I think it's better to come from a person. So yeah, no, this is all authentic. No AI has been used in the production of this.